Silence, 5.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm magnificent.
Miss Hannah Carter.
Yes.
The local legend, helping so many people in your life. And I recently found out that, you know, you have actually raised children and grandchildren also.
Children, grandchildren, everyone else's children.
So you are eminently qualified to speak about being a parent and being a mother and community work and all of that.
I would like to think so. I've got some really great results from the children in the community that have gone abroad and been very successful and had good guidance and directions. And so I'd like to think so.
So let me ask you, you know what this is about today? This Single Mothers Forum is about you guys sharing your experiences, your life story, you know, and things that maybe have touched you in your life, being who you are. So is there anything you want to share with the world about your experience as a mother, single mother,
well, I find that's what's very necessary and very important is for the elders to pass on our traditions and our culture and guide the youth, the young mothers, because I've realized that time goes by, things change, and you lose a lot of essence and quality and family values if you don't cultivate them. And I find that I came from a large family, it's like 15 of us, and I'm like number 12. So I find that the training, the learnings, the upbringings that we had with our father in the home, mother and father in the home, there was a very strict rules, regulations, and guidance in the home. And today, with the single mothers not having that, I can see how things can be very difficult for a single mother today. And I find it's very necessary for the elders to embrace the youth, the young mothers, and guide them and share with just essentials that they need to know to help raising their children, especially males. I have 3 sons, 1 daughter, and my husband got killed in my son was 18 months old. So I remarried just to have a father in the home for my son as well.
Now wait, let me stop you there now. First of all, I'm dealing with the tragedy of the husband. Killed. And then you say you married just to have
I married again because I knew how important family value was, and to give my son a father as well. And particular person I married had a daughter that he was raising. So we were trying to keep unity together because it's very important that the children have a unit. And I find today the reason why a lot of the families are having so much turmoil is because there isn't a balance in the home. And it is very necessary for, I guess you would say, for better quality of the children to have a balance so they can see both sides of the situation. Because me raising 3 sons without a father, because that marriage ended up in a divorce down the line.
How long did that marriage last?
It lasted about 5 years.
About 5 years,
And people have a change of heart, you know, and you have to deal with that as well. But as far as for the children, having 3 sons, I can tell the difference in them not having a father in today's society time, but they have very good foundation and values. My emphasis were put on respect, values, your word, honesty, and those values that they have. And they became fine young men. They graduated from SC. I was able to keep them and give them a good education and good cultural foundation, knowing thyself. And once they do their culture, they seem to be able to build and go anywhere in life with those values. So I find that giving them the necessary tools I was a very young mother at the time as well.
How old were you when you first got married?
I was 20 when I first got. I was 18. I had my first child at 20.
Okay. Okay.
So I was a very young mother, and you know, your plans don't always go as planned.
Well, let me ask you now. You went through 2 traumatic experiences in a maybe 5-7 year span. One father, you know, unfortunately murdered, and then the second marriage ending. You know, how did you become such a positive person in light of all of those?
Well, I think it's knowing yourself and knowing and dealing with what you have to do, or dealing with situations at hand. If you deal with the whole situation and not a selfish situation, because I find a lot of times when you think about yourself, you don't think about the whole picture of children and you want what's best for them. And it'll end up being an imbalance at the end. So I was thinking of what was best for my children, and I happened to have a very difficult time, but knowing who I was and with my energy and the skills that I had, that's I found was very, very essential, having skills, because you can always make a way. When you have skill, I knew how to cook, I knew how to sew, the little values that we learned from our parents. I ended up being a professional seamstress, you know, and then those skills helped bring revenues into the home, where I was able to put my children in private school.
Now, how many times have you been married?
I've been married 5 times.
5 times? 5?
5, no, 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah.
What's the half all about?
He almost made it. He almost made it.
Oh, you almost made it.
I really believe in family structure. My situation was I wasn't taking my time to learn the individual before I made that commitment.
So you take responsibility for
I take total responsibility for that end, because I love family unit, but I was very inexperienced, and I just wasn't taking my time. And then later on in the relationship, I find some things I wasn't willing to compromise, and we had difference in our upbringing. Had I taken my time, I would have seen those things before. And you know, I just have so much love, and I'm just always open.
And you believe in the institution of marriage.
I believe in that. I still would love to be married if someone could accept me.
Okay. I like how you put that.
I have some issues as far as I guess they would say workaholic. I'm always thinking of ideas and want to do things. I'm just a compulsive doer, very energetic. And at this age, at 66, I still love playing. And
66? You mean 36?
One of my husbands say, "When are you going to grow up?" And because I skate, I love to run, I do all the activity. I still climb trees.
Oh,
I have to pick the fruit from the top, you know.
Well, I want to tell you that what you said today, you know, is just life-changing. I know so many people that need to hear what you said. And your spirit, your perseverance, your attitude. These things are just like enriching to me to see.
See, but we have a lot of luggage as well, because a lot of times we're hurt in relationships, and some of us don't know how to let that go. I had, I guess, such a healthy childhood until I find that when I resort back to my energy and have fun and just, I grew up with my children, I went everywhere with them, we did everything together, and I find once you have a child, the most important period is to be with that child is from an infant until about 4 or 5. And then you let them go and learn and interact with other children. And then when they become teenagers, it's very important that you once again stay home with that child between 13 until they complete high school.
Well, we're going to start this forum in just a little bit, and we want you to keep some of those thoughts. And we could go on all day with you, because you have such a beautiful, beautiful story. And I want to thank you for sitting down with us right now. And give me a hug.
Thank you so much for having Granny.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let's do the mic. The mic.